Hi everybody, my name is Katie. I've been playing Animal Crossing New Horizons every day since it launched. This is the first episode of the second season of my Island Designer series. During season 1, I showed you the process I used to flatten my island before starting new themes. Today, we are going to begin building Christmas Island. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of how I've mapped out my island for the next design. As we walk through town, you will see several green dots on the ground. This is just a simple custom pattern that I use to indicate where I plan to put buildings and trees. After the tour, I will include a speed build of me completing the first design steps. This is just a custom, kind of a basic rock pattern that I put together, and I wanted to see how that would move as I was coming across. Down here in the bottom corner, and Grizzly's right there waiting for us, is going to be a little bit of a fishing village. And just the campsite, Grizzly's house, kind of a private beach, ready for him to go out and do some fishing. And then up from there, you can see in this area, I've put a little bit of a pedestal. I want a focal point tree to go up here. And I also want room down here for some candles and the rocks to be going around it. And then this will be a diagonal bridge. We'll put that in pretty quick here. And the path will go over here on the other side. Up, I'll be moving Flurry's house up into here. And that's what I mean by the circles being a little different. You can see the edge of that plot and the second character's house. I have all the flowers I chose to keep last time already on the beach. A few of the black and red cosmos up here. And then I put all the blue ones over here on purpose because I already knew probably I'd be putting the ice area over here. I've started growing a few new things. You'll see them up on that cliff. I wanted some of the holly bushes and a few more red flowers, so I planted them during the process of mapping so that they would be ready to go for me. Now, if you go right from the airport, this of course will be a beautiful entrance area with an arch, and we head into Christmas Town. So in here I wanted it to look really structured, very organized and ready for some serious toy making. And I've put layouts here where you can see where the other houses are going to go. There's a few houses then down here on the beach. I won't be doing palm trees since I want it to be a winter area. This is where my house is going to go. I liked that spot. It gave me a really quick way to get to the airport or to the store. It's kind of in the middle of town. A couple more houses up on here. You can see right here I haven't put a bridge in yet. Whether I choose to customize a land bridge or put a regular bridge, until I'm ready to put the bridge, I don't finish the water so that I don't have to pull out every time I want to cross the water. You can see the other flowers that I had reserved and saved aside from before I flattened it, ready to go when I need them, are all along there still. This area is going to be a community area. I haven't determined exactly how I want to use it yet, so it'll be one of the last areas we do as I continue to get ideas. Up from here is going to be the Tailor Shop. I put this down just so I'd remember. Over here is going to be Marine's house, and I'm going to create a bakery style area with her, like a sweets and cakes shop. Down from here is where Nook's Cranny is going to go. I also have the trash can and a workbench right in the middle, easy to get to. It's nice to have access to those as you're creating. And then just a little bit of a waterfall. I didn't want it to be too noisy over here in town, so I've reduced it down to just 2 slots instead of the 4. And then on the other side of resident services here, we'll put an incline that goes up on this side as well as over here on this side. And as we get up onto the top, there are a few, I think, kind of cool areas that are going to go into place. Over here will be Eric's house, and I'm going to put him in with the reindeer area. So this is going to be a little bit of a stall type of a structure for reindeer, and I want to figure out a way to do Santa's sleigh. That may not work. We can drop the idea if it doesn't work, but just in case I can make something like that happen, it'll go here. And then just some trees, and this is going to be kind of a beautiful lake up here at the top in the middle. I know I'll be able to put that in last, so that's where I'm keeping my extra flower storage at the moment. Over here is going to be Santa's workshop. This is the pattern I created for the flag, and I'm using it to indicate the outline of the area that is going to be utilized for Santa's workshop on one side of the path and the other. And I put the museum at the back because I really wanted that illusion that the workshop was actually quite a bit bigger, although we will be covering up some of the workshop itself and adding in some elements to make it look like it's working away at making the toys. Down around the path a little further, there'll be, I believe, Fauna's house is going here, and I'm going to carry that water along, and it's where we're going to put a Christmas tree farm. And on the very last layer, there will be one last incline that'll take us up to the third layer, and this is where we're going to put Santa Claus's house. That is a new profile that I'll be putting in and showing you guys a little bit about the quick way that I put profiles in when I put them in a game. And there's going to be some beautiful area up here for North Pole, for his house, and for a lot of trees. I wanted it to look as if it was in the side of a mountain, a really beautiful forested area. Right now I'm collecting a bunch of flowers off of my beach. These are all ones that I reserved when I flattened my island last time because I knew I was going to use them, the green mums in particular. And I'm paying a little bit of attention to the area behind where the buildings are going to go. It is so much easier and will save you a lot of time and hassle if you take care of this area before you actually move the building there. I can just plop the fences down and put flower beds in place without having to maneuver around the building. I've decided to use this corral fencing throughout all of the town as sort of the theme fencing for the area, and I move it a couple times, fuss with it until it's exactly where I want it to be. But mostly I'm outlining some of these houses and giving them almost a little bit of a yard area, even though some of them are small and in odd places. I have pulled back from the intersection at each of the roads and used a space out for the lamps. I really want a lot of room so that I can put Christmas decorations down. This isn't supposed to be a regular town, it's supposed to be a festive, decorated town for Christmas. So it was really important to me that there be space for me to put decorations that I'm currently doing and have, as well as decorations that may come up in future packs. I won't actually be finishing this island until after the Christmas update releases in the game, which will be sometime the end of November. You can see up here is where I switch over to country fencing instead of corral fencing. It's just one area that I wanted it to be a little unique. That's where the Christmas tree farm is going to go. But down here in town, I stick with the corral fencing. Here's where you can see I switch over and I start just using it between the lamps. And I really liked the way that that looked, so I changed it on all the other areas. It's a big part of the creative process that you put something down, move forward, change your mind, move things around. I am forever moving things around as I'm building. After I get a little bit of the basic fencing in place here, I am going to start putting flowers in. I'm using the brown dirt as a base for that. And I like doing this in most of my builds, but I particularly wanted to do it here because flowers, of course, don't readily grow in super cold climates with lots of snow, but I still wanted that color. So I wanted the dirt so that they would look like they were cultivated, as if all of the people building Christmastown were taking care of these flowers. They were there on purpose. They were being cared for in the cold climate. There were two different patterns that I used as I was putting flowers down. One was either the classic red and green back and forth, and the second was the white and red. I wanted that to look a little bit like a candy cane style. So I have quite a few flowers that I have separated for Christmas. I'm using the red hyacinth and the red windflower and the red mum, and then I'm using the white hyacinth and the white rose for white, and then of course the green mum for the green. I've also got the 5-star island lily of the valley that I will scatter in throughout here too. I probably have more flowers reserved over here on the edge than I will probably need or use in the island, but it's always good to have more than less of what you're looking for. There are also a few of the black cosmos. I probably won't use a ton of them, but I have saved them just in case I wanted to put some in the forest areas for just a little bit of a different look. I'm running over here to the left side of town. The last step that I want to do before changing to a new day and moving buildings is to put a diagonal bridge in place. I want a really pretty arch bridge that connects the Christmas town area over into the ice and snow area. I have a video that specifically talks about the way that I go about creating diagonal bridges without quite so much torture. I'll link it here and you can check that out for a better description as to what I'm doing. Once I put the bridge in place, the last thing that I have to do is just make sure you pay for it and then connect some of the stone path. And you'll see that I'm using that same custom pattern over here. It lined up in a different spot than I intended, so I'm just shifting it over really quick so that it lines up with where the bridge is going to be. Today's video toured all over the place on the island and was a lot of very miscellaneous tasks, but in future episodes of the designer series, I will be doing speed builds of the individual design areas, so you can look forward to watching me design the toy factory, the bakery, the tailor shop, all the fun areas that we have to look forward to creating together. That's it for the first episode of Season 2, Creating Christmas Island. I'll finish moving all the buildings in place and join you back here for the next episode where I will show you how I'm going to decorate a cozy Christmas living room for my house. As always, I hope you found something useful here and encourage you to continue creating in this game. Until next time, have the best Animal Crossing day.